this is Manin Rabu from Batam. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
I'm Sela Sadakau from Vatukola. I only listen to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold Benaka, I'm Vale and I'm working at Golden Grove Resort, and I love listening to Gold FM because it plays a really wide range of classic music.
I'm Saini Sakio from Kashmir Wotoka. I like Gold FM, but only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Good evening, I'm Jackie Spade. This is FBC News. Tonight, cyclone-affected athletes determined to make a mark at Coke Games. PM disappointed with SODELPA's GCC petition. Government has nothing to do with the sale of Sky Pacific from Fiji Television to Digicel. Thousands of students have left behind their trauma and mental scars from Tropical Cyclone Winston to compete in the Coca-Cola Games in Suva. Athletes and teachers from various schools say they have done all necessary preparations. Vashnil Prasad reports.
2016 Coca-Cola Games will be all the more special for young students who lived through the worst of Tropical Cyclone Winston.
Students have to work from home during training, especially on Saturdays, and they have to come in, say, around 7:30 for morning trainings. Some come without track shoes, some still have come without breakfast, and schools have tried to provide food for them.
Hardship in life helps shape strength and patience. These athletes are in search of the victory. Basanathan College, who suffered damage to infrastructure, believes winning a gold medal will be a morale boost.
It will be a very emotional moment for me because the way it has been affected, especially our school, was destroyed. Partly destroyed by the cyclone, the technical side, and of course the two other buildings. And this achievement from these 4 students would be a boost to my school.
Only Koro Island hasn't been able to send any athletes. Taviuni has 37 athletes. The Tavua Vatukola Ra zone will be represented by 34 athletes. Talevu zone, which includes Overlau, has 241 participants, while Bar zone has 195 athletes. It has not been an easy road to the Coke Games for them.
That's just in school, because we have a motto, just do your best and leave the rest to God. That's what we say in school. So everybody's just doing their best and we just leave the rest to God so we can...
For some athletes, the struggle still continues. Shattered homes and lost belongings haven't dampened the athletes' spirits this year.
Our clothes and some houses are gone, and clothes are missing, and our house were damaged, and our house were wet. I love sports. That's why I want to win gold.
Only thing we were thinking of, maybe just to stick together as a team, come to the Cokes, try and perform to our best and go back to glory.
While the fans will be entertained here during the 3-day tournament, the athletes representing their school will not only go for gold, but will try to prove they are truly stronger than Winston. Vashnil Prasad, FBC News.
Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama is expected to make a statement in Parliament tomorrow in relation to attempts by the opposition to reinstate the Great Council of Chiefs. The Social Democratic Liberal Party presented a petition on Monday calling for the GCC to return.
Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama has said repeatedly that the Great Council of Chiefs will never be allowed to return. Speaking to FBC News, Bainimarama says it was insensitive of SODELPA to bring up the petition at this time.
For the opposition who's always harping about democracy, and for them to bring it up now, when people are suffering from aftermath of Winston, is unbelievable.
The GCC was abolished 4 years ago, but Bainimarama stresses that the now defunct entity is not the sole custodian of the traditional Itoke chiefly system.
Don't let's mix up the Great Council of Chiefs and the chiefs. The chiefs are here to stay, and they'll be here until kingdom come. Nobody's going to remove them.
The Prime Minister is likely to make a ministerial statement tomorrow. The SODELPA petition was defeated by 29 votes to 16. Farzana Nisha, FBC News.
The marketing grant to Fiji Airways is a partnership to promote connectivity and build capacity on the Singapore route. Civil Aviation Minister Ayaz Said Qayyum was asked why the national airline has been given $18 million when it made record profits last year. Ritika Pratap reports.
ADB meeting. The ADB meeting.
Civil Aviation Minister Ayaz Said Qayyum has stood by the multi-million-dollar grant to Fiji Airways, saying it takes years to turn a profit on a new route.
It does not necessarily mean that suddenly that, it's going to be hunky-dory next year or the following year. In particular, if you have a business that is subject primarily to many other denominators that's outside our control. One of them, of course, being fuel prices.
Said Qayyum gave examples of the direct Hong Kong flights, which started off with 2 per week and has now been increased to 4 flights per week.
The first year, the loss was $15.3 million. The second year, loss was $23.8 million. The third year, $19.7 million. This is 2012, 2013. So the overall loss for those 3 years, Madam Speaker, just on the Hong Kong route, Madam Speaker, was $58.7 million.
The minister says due to this direct connectivity, the government is also able to break into Indian, Middle East and other Southeast Asian markets. The government is also hoping to host the Asian Development Bank meetings in the near future.
The ADB meeting, which is held every year or every 2 years, the large ones, they have about 3,000 or 4,000 people that come to the meeting. We are currently talking to the developers in Momi Bay to see if they can build a convention center of that size for us to be able to host those types of events. So we can bid for those kind of events, but you need the airline connectivity.
Said Qayyum says the $18 million grant to Fiji Airways will be adjusted or reduced over a period of time once the profitability increases. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
The government has nothing to do with the sale of Sky Pacific from Fiji Television to Digicel. Telecommunications Minister Ayaz Said Qayyum made the clarification in Parliament today, saying they merely oversee regulatory provisions.
Fiji Television.
Opposition MP Aseri Randondro asked what the condition of sale was because people with Sky Pacific services are complaining that they can't watch Fiji One anymore. Attorney General Ayaz Said Qayyum pointed out that the restriction protects Fiji One.
They forget that on one hand, they're talking about protection of Fijian holdings. Does Fijian Holdings own Sky Pacific now? No. Fijian Holdings owns Fiji TV. Shouldn't they want to protect Fiji TV? Shouldn't they want to protect Fiji TV? Because it's the free-to-air television. Majority of the Fijian people in Fiji cannot subscribe to Sky Pacific. They can't afford $50 a month. Maybe they can. Ordinary Fijians can't.
The minister pointed out that under Fijian law, Digicel can't run any local content nor any advertisements on Sky Pacific, ensuring that Fiji TV is able to earn revenue.
How does a free-to-air television run? How does it survive? It survives by having advertising. It survives by generating revenue. Fiji TV is a listed company and it needs the revenue, so it is a protection of a free-to-air television station.
Syed Qayyum says foreign ownership in subscription TV is purely for entertainment purposes. Edwin Nand, FBC News.
The 49-year-old man alleged to be the driver of the rental car that was involved in a fatal accident in Samambul outside Suva has surrendered himself. Bonipate Turangalevu was allegedly driving when the car plunged about 40 meters into a gully, claiming the lives of 2 young men. Dead are 21-year-old Kitione Tukana and his 19-year-old cousin Epeli Nduaimbe. He was on the run since the weekend, however, surrendered himself to police this morning. He's being kept at the Samambula police station. Still to come on FBC News, Defence Minister commends RFMF efforts after TC Winston. And Biosecurity Authority continues to strengthen its manpower. Stay with us.
I'm Sarah, I'm from Tafwa, and I love listening to Today FM rocks.
My name is Freddy, I'm from Gamiatong. I listen to Mario on the traffic jam every afternoon.
Hi, my name is Salah, I live in Asinu. Today FM rocks.
My name is Denasa and I'm from Lutoka and I love listening to Today FM.
My name is Mulamila. I work at Golden Point Resort. I love listening to Today FM. It rocks in Raki Raki.
I'm Mary from Mandera. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
We love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. The Republic of the Fiji Military Forces has proved its critics wrong by doing a tremendous job post-tropical cyclone Winston. Defence Minister Timothy Natuva says the soldiers have shown their capabilities while helping rebuild the country. Ali Kimbia has more.
The selfless service by the Republic of Fiji Military Forces to rebuild after the devastation left by Tropical Cyclone Winston is something that has once again proved all critics from various opposition members wrong.
I recall during previous parliament sitting how we have endured the numerous criticism from the other side of the House of the RFMF and its operations. Yet we now witness how invaluable the RFMF is to our local sustenance and resilience in the rebuilding of our nation from such calamity.
Responding to questions in Parliament today, Timothy Natuva said apart from physical help, the soldiers have also made financial contributions.
The RFMF have even gone further to cut a day's pay from all serving personnel home and abroad of over $100,000 towards funding tropical Winston recovery, and was one of the first government institutions to contribute to the recovery funds.
The minister says the RFMF will continue to carry out rebuilding works around the country and offer services as to when the need arises. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
Two Australian companies which employ seasonal workers from Fiji are under investigation by the Fair Workers Ombudsman. This was revealed by the Employment Minister Semi Koroilavisau in Parliament today. Maggie Boyle tells us more.
276 Fijians are now employed under the Seasonal Workers Program in Australia and New Zealand. There are teething problems.
And met our first employer, Plant Ropi. The management that recruited some 123 Fijians in 2015. The employer was where the first group of 7 Fijians that walked off from their accommodation. The investigation on this case is still pending with Fair Works Ombudsman.
Koroilavisau over the last couple of weeks toured New Zealand and Australia, and he stressed that the recruitment process for all of the seasonal work programs will need to be fine-tuned.
We basically need to improve our selection process to ensure that the right people with a commitment to work and make a difference are selected, rather than those that wish to take advantage of an opportunity to go and visit Australia.
Despite the initial glitches, both governments support the long-term implementation of the program.
Government stakeholders expressed full support and commitments toward SWP, and at the same time had the recognition for room for improvement.
Opposition MP Tupon Dranindalo, in response, suggested the ministry consider other employment programs than just seasonal work abroad. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
Just over $280,000 has been paid out in workers' compensation so far this year. This was highlighted by the Minister for Employment, Semi Koroilavisau, in Parliament today. Koroilavisau says the majority of the payout has been for the private sector.
Ministry of Employment also processed a total of 8 death cases, totaling $192,000. This brings the total compensation payout to government workers as at 31st March 2015 to a total of $280,401.57.
The government has allocated $5 million for the compensation of government workers this year. More than 6,000 people have applied for dual citizenship in the last 7 years. Minister for Defence Timothy Natuva presented the numbers to Parliament this morning. A majority of the applicants are former Fiji citizens residing in Australia and New Zealand. An average of 836 applications are received each year. The highest figure was recorded in 2014, with 1,036 people applying for dual citizenship.
Dual citizenship holders are able to reside in Fiji for as long as they want without having to apply for a permanent stay now also hold a Fiji passport, same as resident. They don't need to go through investment Fiji should they wish to set up business in Fiji.
Dual citizenship holders enjoy the same benefits as Fijians, including the right to vote. The Biosecurity Authority of Fiji is strengthening its manpower to help achieve the targets set for this year. Shireen Shivan reports the hiring of new staff has already begun.
The Biosecurity Authority of Fiji has recruited a number of employees recently and will continue to do so in coming weeks. Executive Chair Xavier Riaz Khan says many of these positions are new.
And we've also moved towards the graduate trainee program, where we're trying to train people on job, and over time, basically through the succession planning process, they actually, through transparent recruitment process, they basically climb the ladder up.
The Biosecurity Authority of Fiji is currently working on its strategic plan and framework. The restructure of the organization is complete, and Khan says a number of changes are expected this year.
The highlight of the all will basically opening of 3 new offices, which will basically be in Savasavu, in Taveuni, in Ba, and in Singatoka.
This will enable BEF to provide similar services to everyone. Shireen Shivan, FBC News.
It's time for sports now, and here's Charlie with the latest.
Good evening. Coming up in sports, Natamboa High School ready to defend title, and Maris Brothers High School confident of chances. This and more coming up.
Tua, Awangonia Saurara, although we will take you on a TV and a market Tawa. Although Talitana, Warrona, Bula FM, and Namandu and a set.
Pulamana Vici, Nadango Palacio Materia, one may Nanan Bula Tabiuni, Ausatuga Nandi, and the Talita na Warrongo and a Bula FM. Bula!
Bula FM, number 2 and seri.
Coca-Cola Games boys defending champions Natamboa High School is once again ready to stamp their mark this year. A total of 86 athletes will be competing in the girls and boys division. Vasnil Prasad reports.
Glory of retaining the Coca-Cola Games boys division title is not far away for the Natamboa High School.
The preparations that we have done throughout this year was very good. Compared to last year, we are up to another standard now.
No doubt Natamboa has become a brand name in the Fiji finals recently. Ilyas Adraunivi says they have molded the athletes to reach a new level.
We train the students, our athletes, mentally, physically, and the most important one is spiritually. That's why we defend our title.
So what about this year?
This year we're going to come very strong. We are all prepared for the game.
Natamboa has retained some of its top athletes from last year. While the giants of Coca-Cola Games here in Suva are quiet, the defending champions are here to take part without any fear and retain their title in Suva.
At the moment, we are not counting on our medals. We just want to improve from where we left last year. 17 goals, so this year will be another level. We are training our athletes to another level.
It could be home away from home for these athletes, but winning a title here will be nothing new for them on Saturday. Vasnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
Former Coke Games champions Maris Brothers High School is brimming with confidence to showcase a better feat this year. Maris finished with third with 7 gold, 10 silver and 14 bronze last year. School principal Ben Saladakau says they are ready for the competition this year.
For us, our zone wasn't so strong. Our in-the-house, our in-the-house is basically for us to choose our athletes, and the zone wasn't so strong, so we might have been misled into thinking that we are good. So that's what we've been very careful to avoid.
The school will field 74 athletes in the competition and expects the Tailevu and Western schools to come out strong once again.
I think Tailevu schools are traditionally strong, QS and RKS. We've been competing against them in some of the competitions here. But the West is the unknown factor for us. We know little about them, and they have always been very strong. They proved last year.
With thousands of athletes and spectators descending on the stadium tomorrow, security will be a priority. Vashnil Prasad is with organizer Lawrence Tikaram for more details.
As the stage is all set here at the ANZ Stadium for the Coca-Cola Games to begin from tomorrow, and to explain us more, I got here with me Sir Lawrence Tikaram. Mr. Lawrence, with the last-minute preparations all rounding up, how has been everything shaping up behind the scene?
I think everything is now falling into place. Getting to a 3-day event is a huge task, and credit must go to the Fiji Secondary Schools Association for being able to pull it off. And most importantly, to thank the government of the day, the Bainimarama government, and the Minister of Education for allowing this 3-day event to actually take place. It augurs well for the development of sports, for the development of athletics in the country, and most importantly, for the fans and the people to come out in large numbers and witness Fiji's biggest 3-day spectacle, the Coca-Cola Games.
I believe the grandstand is all sold out, probably in terms of security. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. The grandstand tickets have been sold out. We have been selling tickets from today through the Fiji Sports Council, and their team, the Fiji Sports Council, have done a marvelous job in preparing the venue. Security will be very, very tight tomorrow. We must thank the police officers from Totongo and all the other groups of police teams that will be working with them. I believe there's over 150 police personnel involved over the next 3 days, counting from the start to the finish, and working to the wee hours of Sunday morning. And we want to thank the police and all the security forces for providing that assurance that the games will be hopefully incident-free, and we look forward to their support. And we ask the parents and the children to come out in big numbers and support the athletes. These are the heroes of the day. These are the ones that make the Coca-Cola Games different. These are the ones that will bring glory to Fiji in the coming years. And now thanks goes out to all the athletes and coaches and teachers as well around Fiji for their support in making the 2016 Coca-Cola Games possible.
Just on the athletes apart, what special prizes are there for stake?
Well, we want to congratulate Fiji Airways for coming on board in the last minute to be one of the associate sponsors. The Blue Ribbon event winners actually get a return ticket to New Zealand or Australia. The overall winners for the male and female, best female, get a return ticket as well to Australia and New Zealand. And the sub-junior grades, they're actually going to invest in the sub-junior grades, the future of the Coca-Cola Games. They also will be receiving the gift packs as well. And also there's a $10,000 cash prize as well to the winners of all zones. All different categories in the Coca-Cola Games. So there's a bit for everyone, and I'm sure tomorrow will be equally exciting. I'm sure the athletes must be feeling the buzz in their stomach right now, as they prepare. And we really want to thank the teachers, the coaches, and the principals, and all that have supported to make sure that the 2016 Coca-Cola Games kicks off in a grand way tomorrow. And you come down to ANZ Stadium.
There you go, the prizes are on stake for the winners, and we will come to know who takes these great prizes when the dust settles down here at the ANZ Stadium on Saturday.
Kadavu Provincial School athletes are expecting to compete to their level best in the Coke Games. 6 athletes will represent the school in the sub-junior and junior grades. All they want is to feel the atmosphere and get exposure for the games.
We are aiming for the goal this year, just like other schools. We are aiming to get the students, especially we are bringing junior students to experience the type of competition that is held in the Coca-Cola Games. Maybe because they have more years to participate in the games.
Pacific Sprint King Banuve Tombokodoro has laid a challenge for all sprinters taking part in the Fiji finals. The champion athlete has something extra to offer to the athletes who break his record this year. Vashnil Prasad with the details.
When it comes to Coca-Cola Games, Banuve Tombokodoro's name will always be remembered. The Sprint King has 4 records outstanding in the history of the games for 6 years now.
Well, it's just an extra boost to get the kids going. I've got 4 records standing in the Coca-Cola Games, the Inter Boys 100-200 and the Senior Boys 100 and 200 as well. So something just to put out there for the kids, just to get out there and give it their best.
The challenge now lies on the athletes to break the record and get an incentive from the champion himself.
There's $200 for each record that each athlete breaks. So just something just to get the kids going, and I don't see why I shouldn't put out this cash incentive.
Banuve believes the best prepared school will take the title home.
I guess it's really good that Natambo and Jasper took it out last year. I guess it's a wake-up call to the schools here in Suva and the schools in Tailevu as well.
Out of the 125 schools taking part, it will be the battle of the heavyweights during the 3-day event. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
The Fiji Sports Council is urging the public to be mindful of their litter and keep the property clean, as this has been a major issue in past years. Tents were being put up and final field assessments being done to the ground and tracks to ensure all will be in order once the 2016 Coca-Cola Games begins tomorrow.
The team has been working on the ANZ Stadium since last week. Of course, we had the Fiji Bitamara Sevens last week. So there's been a major cleanup after that. We're still doing works. We're probably going to be working late this evening as well, just to make sure that everything is ready for all our fans.
Over 40,000 people, give or take, will pass through these gates over the next 3 days to witness the biggest secondary schools athletics meet, and the Fiji Sports Council has only one message for them.
This is the facility that's hosting the major event, so we'd like to ask our patrons and encourage them to please respect the facility. We've got rules in place such as no standing on the seats. We need to ensure that these things are looked after. We're also trying to play it big on the littering aspect. We're going to have a lot of provisions in place, so we'd like our patrons to help us keep the facility clean as well, so that everyone can enjoy the games.
Exciting times are in store for schools, fans and the public at large when the Coke Games begins at 4 p.m. tomorrow. The stage is set for the 2016 Coca-Cola Games from tomorrow. Organizers say despite the challenges that schools have faced in order to participate, this year's meet will prove to be one of the best Coke Games in recent times.
Everyone's looking forward to Thursday, and I believe that this tournament is going to be one of the best. Simply because at one stage we were worried about the effect of the cyclone. But it doesn't seem to be the case with the number of athletes that have come in.
2,477 athletes from 124 schools will converge at the ANZ Stadium. And that was FBC Sports. Back to Jackie now for business.
Fiji National University today conducted a development workshop for working professionals at its Nasese campus in Suva. The workshop gave these participants an in-depth background of parliamentary processes which will help them in their career. Suva lawyer Racheli Tuivanga says these 20 participants from various government agencies and private law firms will have a better understanding on laws.
Very, very interesting and insightful. From a professional perspective, it gives us a basic understanding of how the parliamentary procedures are working. For example, at work, the bills that are being discussed, it shows you how the committees debate those particular bills.
Fine weather prevailed again today. Temperatures: Nandi and Ba were the hottest on 32 degrees, Lautoka was on 31, Lambasa recorded 30 degrees, Suva was on 29 and Sabasaba was the coolest on 28 degrees. Tomorrow's forecast is fine apart from brief showers expected over most places. And the further outlook is for Friday, brief showers predicted, moderate to rough seas. Recapping the top stories for tonight. The Prime Minister is expected to make a statement in Parliament tomorrow in relation to attempts by the opposition to reinstate the Great Council of Chiefs. Telecommunications Minister Ayaz Said Qayyum clarifies the government has nothing to do with the sale of Sky Pacific from Fiji Television to Digicel, and all preparations are in place for Coke Games to get underway tomorrow. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. On to the poll question for this week, we are asking: are developed countries doing enough to fight climate change? To answer, visit our FBC website. You've been watching FBC News. Good night.
आपको खरगंगा के रंजिला का नमस्कार। रेडियो फिजी की सुंदर सुंदर यादों का खजाना एकदम बचपन के दिन याद करा देते हैं।
हमारा नाम जॉनी नायडू है, हम रहता है मलोलो में और हम टैक्सी ड्राइवर है। हम सब टाइम अपन टैक्सी में रेडियो फिजी सुनता प्रोग्राम।
हम सिंगाटोका के हैं, हमारा नाम है रोजी। हम लोग यहाँ पे रेडियो फीजी 2 सुनते हैं।
राम राम, मैं रेमस प्रसाद बोलता हूँ, तब होता हूँ कोई रहता हूँ। मैं जब भी सुना रेडियो फीजी 2 ही सुनता हूँ।
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।